there. And then, but if you're using the Cuttlebug, you need the A plate and, the 2 B plates. You need embossing powder. You need a Versamark or embossing, just kind of an embossing pad. And then you need an ink pad, and you want like a full pad. You don't want the little triangles or the rectangular pieces. You want really a pad so that you can cover the whole thing. And a couple of paint brushes. And I would do like, I don't know, medium size, a small and maybe a smaller one. This might be actually too big, but, we'll see. So, something that you may or may not know about I'll just be talking about Cuttlebug because that's what I have. But on the folder, when you have the name up above here, then you're going to be embossing. Whatever's going to be on top is going to be embossed. The only reason I'm telling you this is because if you have printed papers, like if you have art papers or scrapbook paper or whatever cardstock, if you have the printed part up, then that's what it's going to emboss on. Otherwise, if you turn the printed side down, then it's going to deboss it. So it might be important for, whatever you're going to be doing. Get really fast here, roughly. Okay, so the first technique is going to be, I'm going to run this through the Cuttlebug, and what we're going to do is run the ink pad over it. Move these things out of the way. And just put your Cuttlebug sandwich in between your plates and run them through the Cuttlebug, whatever machine you have, and then back again. Just so that they're really embossed, really stand up. I'm going to be using that again, so we'll just take that out. And you just take it out of the folder, and you can see where it's all raised. I hope you can see this. I don't know about the lighting, but you take your ink pad, and you just rub it over lightly. There you go. Well, a little bit more here. So you rub it over lightly, and then you get that raised effect. This really looks great when you have art papers or when you have some scrapbook paper that has a print on it. And then you emboss it, and then you run the ink pad over it. It really makes that embossed area stand out. I've done swirls, numbers. This is a little bit lighter. And then I've done another. So I'm going to run this. And the speed doesn't really make a difference. Okay, so we've got this again. So now what you're going to take is you're going to take your embossing pad or Versamark, and you want to run it over the pattern that is raised. And I won't know until I do the embossing powder how much of the Versamark got on the entire thing, but we shall see. So I'm just going to pour the embossing powder over it. And I'm usually very generous because you're going to pour it right back into the bottle, all the excess anyway. Okay. And then just take your card, or your whatever you have, and just shake it off. And then I like to flick it a couple times just to get off the excess. And then, of course, we'll put this back in the bottle. Okay. Now, you can see on this card where there's some areas that have embossing powder beyond the design on the bottom portion, not where it's raised. And if you want, you can actually take, your brush and brush that away. But I have found that it's kind of nice to have it on there. Some of these places that are a little bit heavy, you can take it off. And just get your heat gun and emboss it. I know this is kind of noisy, but a little bit easier on the other ones I use. You can see the embossing heating up. For some reason you don't see this one as well. Just go around the whole thing, and I'm probably not going to do the entire piece so I can show you some others that I've done so you can get a better idea. Okay, so there's this one. You can see I've left some of the embossing powder on there that was down below, and it just gives it a little bit of a more distressed look. So these are some others that I did. This one I brushed off all the excess embossing powder in between the letters, and I did between the numbers, I'm sorry. And I took the smaller brush, and then I did it like inside some of these smaller, some of the smaller areas that you see on here. And this one I left it all on, but you can see that the numbers still were raised. So I really liked the look of this when it was finished. Wipe it all away, and it turned out really cool. So I want to encourage you guys to experiment and just see what you can do. Also, I just wanted to let you know that I saw a technique on YouTube. I can't remember who did it. And they put ink on the folder, then put the paper in, ran it through slowly, and then came back around. And you came out with it was a printed background, and then you still had your raised area. Well, what I did is I took these handy wipes and I just put them on the folder on the inside, of course, and I just set this thing on there, and I just patted it really well. And I can't, I'll probably use these in some other project. So all I can tell you is experiment and just try different things, and just have fun with it. So till next time, I'll be experimenting. Bye.